On the podium, runner-up Mike Alessi said, "I've ridden the extra lap, I've ran the extra mile. What can I do? How do I match that?" 38 other contenders are saying exactly the same thing as they prepare for the 40th annual Hangtown Classic in Sacramento, California. AMA Toyota Motocross, round 2, next on Speed. Last week it was Southern California. This week, Northern California. As Speed welcomes you back to the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship, and it's the Honda Hangtown Classic, where this year we're celebrating a significant year. It's the 40th anniversary at this iconic motocross location. Hi everyone, Lee Diffie along with multi-time AMA Motocross champion Jeff Emig, and as always, Aaron Bates. There are 25,000 plus screaming motocross fans here at Hangtown this weekend. A week ago, the bar was set very high by none other than James Stewart, coming out in the opening round in emphatic style. Can he back it up this week? Nick Way, he's in the top 10 after the first round of the 08 Championship, and Steve Boniface almost broke into the top 10 a week ago at Glen Helen. A review of the points after the first of 12 rounds, and with a 1-1-2-2-3-3, Stewart, Alessi, and Millsaps. Time now for a progressive pit report. Here's Aaron.
After 40 years of wear and tear here at the Hangtown Motocross National Park, there has been a major facelift that's taken place for the 2008 season. The biggest change, though, the track is going to be raced in reverse. Also, the Dirt Diggers crew have brought in truckloads of sand. They've spread it throughout the entire track, actually working it in to make the track tougher and rougher, tacky in some areas and slick in others. While change is good for some riders, other riders are not feeling just the same. They're saying that the track is very one-lined. It's going to make it extremely difficult to pass. But the good thing is we've seen many epic battles here in the past over history, and we can expect today's race to be one to remember.
Jeff, your thoughts on switching it up, changing it around? Keeps it interesting.
It definitely keeps it interesting for the fans. The riders also love it because it's not the same old track year in, year out. Definitely a technical track this year with a lot of rollers, a lot of jumps, and a lot of off-cameras that they have to, negotiate.
The Honda race format, as always, 40 riders on the gate, the two motos, 30 minutes plus 2 laps, and the highest points total cumulatively over the two motos will win, and Moto 2, as always, carries a little more weight. Now they position on the grid as per practice speeds, and the number 7 is at the top.
Yeah, James Stewart is definitely on a roll. 50 points, 1-1 at the first race. The riders really have to keep their confidence up if they want a chance at James Stewart here today, because if he gets on a roll and wins a bunch of races in a, at once here by midway point of the season, he can have this championship really, really locked up. But not lose hope. These riders have a great opportunity, good track here today. It all comes down to the start. Get a start, you have a chance to beat James Stewart.
The Dirt Diggers North Motorcycle Club have done a wonderful job once again. Now all the work is done, it's time to race. Round 2 of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship, and Stewart gets the whole shot, just like he did a year ago here at Hangtown.
This is a new first turn area. Nice sweeping big left into another left-hand turn. That looks like Josh Hill just went down at the lower part of your screen.
The 902 of Cody Cooper got a terrific start. So too did the 141 of Steve Boniface. But it's Stewart up front.
Stewart following the game plan. As a rider, you say, okay, I want to have a perfect day, and all starts this first moto. You go out and grab the whole shot. You can ride your own race. There's a lot of roost going to come off the track. You're off these bikes today. There's some rocks, some hard clay. This is a little bit of softer area, but you can see just how much roost comes up off the back of the bikes. But for Stewart, he's not seeing anything but a clean track. That's exactly what the racers want.
Look at Davi Millsaps right around the outside of Cody Cooper. The scraps on for second, third, and fourth. Steve Boniface is second, then Millsaps. This is Cody Cooper. An impressive run early. Did well last week at Glen Helen, but nowhere near as well as this.
How about Boniface and Cooper up there mixing it up with the biggest factory stars in the world?
I've got a question, and here it is. It's about to be answered. I was going to say, where is the 800 of Mike Alessi? He's such a super starter, but he is fighting further back in 5th or 6th at the moment.
Boniface, Millsaps, Cooper's fourth.
There he is. There's Alessi behind the 9 of Tedesco.
So Alessi's in sixth here off the start. Had a very, very confident 2-2 at the opening round, but you know that he wants a piece of James Stewart. And if he looks ahead, he's going to see that the number 7 is out front. So there's a sense of urgency for Alessi to get past these riders, get up into second, hope for a mistake by Stewart.
Progressive whole shot replay. Watch for the Kawasaki bike 7 of James Stewart. It was close between he and Cooper though, Jeff.
This is a beautiful starting line here, and you see this. The 7 of Stewart, it's his all the way. He controlled it going into the first turn. Had a wheel on everyone, pretty much go wherever he wants.
A year ago here at Hangtown, James got the whole shot but then threw it away on the first couple of corners, and Ricky Carmichael was able to inherit the lead early on. Not the case this year at Hangtown. Stewart leads and leads comfortably. Back to the 141. It's a surprise, but it's good to see Boniface up there. And then Davi Millsaps, hot in pursuit, currently third in the championship.
Boniface really looks good on the bike, Lee. If you see his stature, his technique, it's flawless. And I've always thought that Steve rides in a very efficient riding style, in which with the 450, these long motos here in the Motocross Championship, that an efficient riding style where you don't burn a lot of energy is definitely something that is a plus. And we'll see if Steve can hold on to the end of this moto, get inside the top 5 possibly, maybe even the top 3, because he's putting on a fantastic ride right now.
We've seen Boniface in the Motocross Lights class, but this is a wonderful showing in the main class, in the Motocross class. And look who's coming. Timmy Ferry is in the background. The longer the motos go on, Ferry's fitness shines through, and he is great at picking the competitors off one by one as the laps wind on.
He does it. That reminds me so much of back in the 90s, where Mike LaRocco would always come through the pack. Mike Kudrowski also, if they got a bad start, you can count on him being up front by the end of the race.
Time for a break. They're all chasing James Stewart. We'll be back. We welcome you back to Hangtown with a quick reminder about staying on top of it all. At speedtv.com, you can get the latest motorcycle racing news, results, and in-depth commentary you crave. It's online, and it's all in one place. speedtv.com, your online motorsports authority. And these fans have come to see a lot of riders, but one of their favorites in particular, James Stewart on the 7, out in front, flying.
Yeah, you talk about authority. Stewart is gone this moto. Absolutely flawless. As we take a look back in the pack, Mike Alessi trying to work his way through, but having some problems with Ferry.
Oh, almost up the inside. Timmy Ferry side by side with Alessi. He sticks the move.
Good move by Tim Ferry. Just got on the inside, and you can see the momentum would carry the riders wide off that drop-off. And Ferry has just found a line here. And as a rider, this is something that once you know you have that line, as he works his way up, or if he works his way up to the other riders, he knows that when he comes around to that position that he can use it again. But Ferry looking very strong, as is number 7, James Stewart, pulling a tear-off, classic style. Stewart's one of those riders that tends to use a lot of tear-offs, and he almost uses them as a way to, like, he likes to shake his head around, move his goggles around, pull a tear-off, get clear view.
The 101 of Ben Townley. It was a frustrating season opener at Glen Helen, particularly in Moto 2, where the bike just came to a stop. He is fighting here with the 207 of Sean Collier. That's a great ride by Collier, incidentally.
And if you take a look at the top of your screen here, the running order shows Stewart up front, Millsaps in 3rd, Cooper 4th.
There are some surprises in this race. This is a surprise. The 800 Alessi is down.
That was 7th. He just gave up 2 spots. You see Collier, Townley inside the top 10. Michael Byrne, the Australian, in that 10th spot. Very competitive motocross series this year. Just a stacked field.
Tedesco, it's a promising sign here at Hangtown. He has just got by the 902 of Cody Cooper. So we used the word surprise earlier, just a few moments ago. There are some surprises here. It's a very encouraging run by Steve Boniface in 2nd still. But Tedesco and Cooper are going to have to watch out. Here comes the Kawasaki of Timmy Ferry right on cue.
Here's Ferry to the inside. He scrubs it. Not enough.
What do you make of this reverse track?
Oh, I think the track's great here. Oh, here's Ferry, another inside move. Gets inside of Cooper. Man, another spot for Tim Ferry. He keeps working his way forward.
Keeps clicking them off. And another one down for Timmy Ferry. Cody Cooper tries to come back, but is not quite close enough. Tedesco will have company shortly. We saw Mike Alessi down a moment ago. Now he's in the mechanics area.
Looks like the handlebars, the front wheel, the front forks are really twisted up. Left side of the bars look like it's high. You can see his mechanic, Mike Gosler, trying to kick the front wheel. That just means that the front wheel and the handlebars were not straight. It's very hard to ride these bikes, of course, on such a difficult course, but if the handlebars are twisted up, one side of the bars looked like it was high on the left, the front wheel's not straight, hard to keep it, keep it going in the right direction.
Tedesco with the switchback here on Boniface. Boniface has the inside run. Tedesco's got some momentum though on the 9. Good move. Great sequence of corners there from Ivan Tedesco.
And Tedesco's been working on Boniface for a number of laps. Trouble's not over for Boniface. He's got a hard charging Timmy Ferry. Once again on the inside, Ferry uses that same line to pick off Boniface.
Loves that drop down right section of the circuit. He's executed several moves there, Timmy Ferry. Nice work. Now, Mr. Invisible at the moment is Davi Millsaps. James Stewart is out in front, but Millsaps holds a very strong second. And now the fight becomes here. Tedesco versus Timmy Ferry. Take you back to the replay here. Inside Timmy Ferry.
Ferry just gets to the inside. A little burst of power there as he comes down. Boniface didn't put up much of a fight because Ferry so confident with that, and that's so empowering as a racer to know that each time you come around that you've got a spot like that. Ferry seems to pick off someone each and every lap there.
Is this a place where you need to be aggressive? Is it more about rhythm or is it more about being aggressive?
I think it's about being strong, being physically fit as Ferry takes another position.
He is just clicking them off, isn't he? Now up into 3rd. Good strong run here last year Timmy Ferry had, particularly in Moto 2. And he started, oh, who have we lost there? Boniface does a 360 and then gets going again.
Almost lays it down. Great piece of riding by Boniface to save his top 10 position.
And some applause, some encouragement, like he needs it. James Stewart dominating at Hangtown. Back, Lee Diffie, Jeff Emig and Aaron Bates with you at Hangtown, and we're watching somewhat of a motocross clinic by the Monster Energy Kawasaki of James Stewart.
So strong on the bike, so focused. All that time off with the knee injury, which went into this series last year. Tried to ride the U.S. Open, raced the... Whoa, big mistake by James Stewart.
Right when it was looking so smooth, so cruisy, and almost an off for James Stewart.
That could have been tough right there because he muscles the bike back under him. You've seen him really stick it on the front wheel. James Stewart just picks right back up. What a champion does. He just does not let it faze him. He just forgets about the mistakes and keeps racing forward.
Raise it from the short-term memory and get on with it, and that's exactly what fellow Kawasaki rider Timmy Ferry is doing. The next one on his list is Millsaps, but let's go back to the Stewart incident.
Watch Stewart here in the rut. He looks pretty good. Looks like he gets cross-redded. Hits a pretty good hole there, trying to triple-double. Nice save, though. Just has to muscle the bike out. And you really heard Stewart get hard on the throttle and the bike over-rev. When you over-rev the bike, the rotation of the rear wheel just pulls the back of the bike down. Plus, it's great for the fans, right?
And that's when you are very grateful about your high-end, front-end shop package. Right?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Fight for second is on. Millsaps has been there for the majority of the race. He had to get past Steve Boniface early, but it's been a very strong start to the 08 motocross season for Davi Millsaps, who just continues to mature and come of age at every race meeting.
There's some huge jumps here at Hangtown. You can see as these riders come up this section of rollers, it was tough to make the double out. Now this double down right here, Collier, Boniface, That's what's so great about this track and these bikes here. When you get it lined up, you just grab a handful of throttle. Bikes absolutely launch down the hill.
This is a standout performance from Sean Collier. Very impressive amateur career, but this is certainly a high point in the motocross stakes. Timmy Ferry and Davi Millsaps, Honda versus Kawasaki. Ferry the outside, and it gives him the inside run for the next one. Millsaps says no.
Millsaps closes the door. Now we're coming up on the finish line area here. Ferry trying an outside line. 2 corners from now, that's where he has that hot line down the hill on the right-hand side.
It was a 3-3 result for Davi Millsaps a week ago at Glen Helen. The switchback, he does it again. Same point of the track. Timmy Ferry, that is his strong mark.
And Ferry had that set up. That's what I was talking about. A rider knows, is confident that when we come around to that point of the track that I have got this line dialed. What you want to make sure you put on an extra effort to be close enough to actually make the pass.
For all you young riders out there, listen to what Jeff Emig has to say and watch what Tim Ferry does. Look for those alternative lines like this.
See, Ferry's close right here. He stays out of the roost, then he crosses over, and you see Millsaps gets on the inside, knows that Ferry's close, he wants to close the door. Ferry with a nice arc from the left back to the inside. And you seen as he entered the corner, he was hard on the throttle. He wanted to make sure that he had that little burst of speed just to get next to him, because that's all that you need going over the crest of that downhill. Once you have a wheel on him, you've got the pass made.
Kawasaki now 1-2. And the last man to win here at Hangtown on a Kawasaki, yes, it was Bike 7. It was James Stewart 2 years ago. And of course, back in the mid-90s, Mike Kudrowski dominated with the green machines. But it's all about James Stewart here at Hangtown. Of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship continues here at Sacramento in California, and this is a fight for third. Remember, it's Kawasaki, then the 118 of Davi Millsaps. Here comes the 902 of Cody Cooper. Inside run and nails it.
Cooper with a move on Millsaps. It was a few laps ago where Millsaps had worked his way past Cooper. Cooper's found an extra burst of energy here. Sees the finish line inside, if you will, and is going to really let it all hang out here. This could be his best moto ever. But right now, Cooper just very smooth, really nailing his turns. You see how much more speed he carried through that left-hander than Millsaps. Put 5 bike links on him just like that.
Quietly spoken New Zealander, performing well. The 800 of Mike Alessi on the Makita Rockstar Suzuki. It's the comeback. That's the story here for Alessi. Oh, whoa! Both feet off the pegs and almost threw it away.
Wow, that could have been a bad deal. He hits that. Let's take a look at the replay here. It's a double right here where he has to stretch it out. Now he's sitting on the seat, and he hits a huge hole before that last double into the turn. Feet come off the pegs. Ride like that elevates that heart rate wide open.
Alessi was almost ejected right off the bike. Did a great job to hang on to it. Second place, Timmy Ferry. Third place, new third place, is the 902 of Cody Cooper. What a run.
Yeah, such a strong ride by Cooper here. He just looks like he's oh!
Just when we were giving him props and saying he was smooth, his rhythm was good, he's had an awkward fall. And hands third back to Davi Millsaps. Bike is stalled.
Stalls the bike here. Let's see, he comes in around the left rider. You can see quite a bit of rocks in there. Looks like he just misses the inside groove. Maybe hits one of these small rocks. It's like such a thin line between having the front wheel in the right place and the wrong place. Obviously, that time Cooper had the front wheel in the wrong line.
There were question marks over James Stewart last week at Glen Helen. Would his endurance be up to it? Would his fitness be up to it? Well, he looks fitter than ever. Even with 1 lap to go, he answered those questions in emphatic style a week ago, and he's about to confirm that. He had a small hiccup here through this section of the circuit several laps ago and rebounded from that just fine.
Well, and the bigger question is, would his knee be ready to go? Came back maybe a month or so early than what people expected from this knee injury. He does work with Eldon Baker this year. His fitness, nutrition is top level, but it also seems like that mentally he's the best that we've seen him in a long time.
First to second is a healthy margin, no doubt about that. Some 30-odd seconds between James Stewart and Timmy Ferry, but let's give Timmy a pat on the back because he had to come from behind and just check them off one at a time.
Well, and you know, Mike Fisher and everyone at the Monster Energy Kawasaki team have to be extremely happy with how this race is going down. There's a lot of testing, a lot of practicing together, working together as a team in so many different aspects, from the engine builders, suspension chassis builders, to the truck driver, everyone working together. A lot of smiles going to be around Kawasaki after this one.
Checkered flag awaits James Stewart to make it 3 from 3. He went 1-1 at Hangtown last week. Listen to the crowd. They appreciate what he can do on a motorcycle, and it is extraordinary, as we're now seeing for the second successive weekend.
In the past, when you would see James Stewart win, it would just be this blistering pace that is it just blows your mind. This season, he seems to do it very smoothly, very calmly, but he's out there completely dominating. And I think the fans, just their jaws are dropping. They're just going, wow, we're seeing one of the fastest riders in the history of the sport, making it look so easy.
And as we said, a 30-plus second lead, first to second. Checkered flag awaits James Stewart. What a start to the 2008 AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. And the question now that needs to be answered, can anyone go with number 7 this year? Checkered flag out for Moto 1. Stewart does it. That's 3 from 3 at the beginning of the 08 season. Thank you very much, is what he says. Timmy Ferry comes in for second, ahead of Davi Millsaps. What happened to Boniface? He was at 6, and Michael Byrne gets inside the top 10 as well. Tough luck for Cody Cooper. Let's hear from our third place rider.
I started off pretty good, started riding a good pace, and then, I don't know, the track started going away a little bit, started getting real rough, and I don't know, my front end was being real harsh, and my hands would fall off the bars. You know, I didn't get tired until that point, so I don't know, it'll be all right for next moto.
Let's remind you about green alerts from Speed Mobile. You want the absolute latest news and results? Get them right on your phone. Just text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to get free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts, presented by Kawasaki. And it's appropriate because it's all about Kawasaki at the top end of the field. Here's Timmy Ferry, second place.
Deja vu of what was taking place last weekend. What made the difference in the first moto this week?
You know, actually, we did a little bit of testing this week. I think I got the bike working a little better. Obviously, it shows. I mean, me and James, 1 and 2, pretty big lead. I felt better this weekend. I don't know. Last weekend, I was a little tight. I had a big crash week coming into it, so maybe that contributed a little bit. But I don't know. I'm strong.
Certainly is. First Moto podium of the year. And now let's hear from our Moto winner.
A dominating performance by James Stewart once again. James, when you're over 27 seconds ahead of Davi Millsaps at that point, what's going through your mind and how are you going to keep this exciting this season?
Well, I mean, I almost had a few big crashes out there, and got to stay focused. You know, I feel pretty good, and track's tricky. You know, it's really rough, and but it's fun. So I just got to give it up to the team and everybody. They're doing a good job.
The track looks smooth from appearance from a spectator's point, but how deceiving is it out there?
It's not smooth, and it's slippery. It's really slippery. That's what's making it really tough. Not necessarily it's rough, it's just so slippery, and got to get back and recover for the next moto and try to do it again.
Even after practice, James Stewart said it was hard to find the ideal setup. Looks pretty good from where we sit. We'll be back. Moto 2 coming up.
The world's most prestigious sports.
What a first moto. Kawasaki. Can anybody get in between? Here's Aaron Bates with a Progressive Pit Report.
The number 105 of Sean Hamlin may be a former factory Suzuki rider, but now he's a privateer competitor aboard his tough Power Sports Yamaha. Sean made a triumphant return to the U.S. with a pair of 8th place moto finishes last weekend, finishing 7th overall at Glen Helen. He's returning from overseas with a very successful season in both the MXGP Series and the British Motocross Championship. He said he's happy with his results, but he's especially happy because it was a last-minute deal that was put together with only 5 weeks to go. Up till then, he didn't even have a ride, nor did he expect to be Yamaha's top rider. He says he's extremely happy about this opportunity, but you're taking a look right now at his mechanics working vigorously at trying to repair the clutch perch on there, trying to get him set before the gate drops for Moto number 2.
Thanks, Aaron, and Sean finished 15th in the opening moto here today.
He had a very impressive ride at Glen Helen last week, and 15th. He's very capable of something much better than that. So is Josh Hill, who has our onboard camera. Hill was down off the start in the first moto. He needs something to get this motocross championship going in the right direction.
Set for Moto 2 here at Hangtown. This is what it looks like if you're Josh Hill. And a pretty decent start.
Some of the riders have swept around the inside and outside, but you can see a lot of roots coming up. This is where Hill fell in the first moto. Makes it through clean in the second.
Davi Millsaps with the whole shot. Looks like Andrew Short got away nicely as well. Where's James Stewart? He is 4th. Tedesco's there on 9. Honda, 1, 2, 3.
And this is just what Andrew Short needed to get his series turned around. He's been back in the pack a little bit, had a DNF at Glen Helen. Up here battling with his teammates on the start of the second moto.
Here's Stewart, looked for an inside run on Andrew Short. Couldn't quite get there. Short maintains 3rd, but for how much longer? Stewart on the outside.
Tedesco and Short bottle up, and Stewart uses the outside line. No traffic jam for him. He's worked his way up to 3rd. You're just on the first lap of the second moto.
Well, this is interesting. This is good. Stewart gets by Tedesco for 2nd. It's good to see James having to work for it early. The next one on his list is race leader Davi Millsaps.
Millsaps rode great in the first moto, ended up with that 3rd place. He has the clear track. He has what Stewart had the first moto. He needs to take advantage of that. The track, very slippery. You can see the dark spots is where they put a lot of water down. Light spots is where it's dry. But as they come down here, the riders really have to tiptoe around some of these turns on the first lap because they've watered it in the track. As Stewart said, he said it looks like the track was rough, but it was more difficult because there's just no traction out there.
Right alongside Davi Millsaps on the front wheel. James Stewart grabs the race lead on lap 1.
Pulls the tear off and then makes the pass all in. Whoa, little slip up by Stewart. Keeps it on 2 wheels. Does Millsaps have what it takes to retaliate? Yes.
Super riding Davi Millsaps. Not intimidated by James Stewart at all and grabs the lead back. They go bar to bar. James Stewart around the outside.
Did you see Stewart how the back of the bike just slid out there as he made the pass? So comfortable.
The bike dancing beneath him, one side to the other. Complete comfort, complete control from James Stewart to lead at the end of lap 1. Let's take a look at the progressive whole shot to see what a start it was from Davi Millsaps.
40 of the best motocross riders in the world. Millsaps has the line, keeps it tucked into the inside. See Tedesco trying to get by there. Townley on the outside. All 4 of the factory Honda riders here have surrounded Stewart.
And here comes Mike Alessi. Business to attend to after a frustrating opening moto. After going 2-2 at Glen Helen, he will not be pleased with the way that the opening moto went. Did not make the podium. Had that bike troubles. You saw him have to come into the mechanics area. Some amendments made, some adjustments made on the front end of the bike. But this is more like the Mike Alessi we know. Aggressive, fast, and gets the position on Townley.
Nice move by Mike Alessi. Definitely showing some confidence here in the second moto. Some aggression, desire, determination. Not happy with that first moto. Look at Boniface. Still inside the top 10.
Should give a mention to his brother Jeff Alessi, who did perform well. He top 10 in the first moto, finishing 7th. Short, and the 141 of Boniface go hard at it.
Such a difficult track here at Hangtown. You can see as the riders come down this downhill, try to get on the brakes, and how when the bike goes into those holes, those braking bumps, and the back end just kicks up. I can't explain to you how much time goes into testing with the chassis and the suspension setup to prepare for these days. And that's not to mention the physical conditioning that it takes to ride a track like this. Hangtown always tough on the body because of the hard dirt that's underneath, and it's just constant chop everywhere. It's hard on the hands.
Josh Hill working hard further back in the field, playing a little catch-up here at Hangtown.
I like the vein.
And the Honda Brigade are out chasing after James Stewart. But what a scrap it is for second, third, fourth, fifth. We've got some very talented riders fighting for the minor placings. Millsaps holds on to second. Ivan Tedesco, and we should say it's a reinvigorated Ivan Tedesco aboard his Honda, looking good here at Hangtown. Did not make the podium at Glen Helen. He went 7-5 there, I think, from memory. He finished fourth here in the opening moto. He's in with a shot of podium here at Hangtown.
Well, that's what you come here for. It's with Stewart in this race, and he's been so dominant. I think, I hate to say it, a lot of riders racing for second place. I know it's early in the season, but Stewart has been so good, and he's one of those riders that has a chance. And like I said, I know it's early. He's got the potential to win every moto. What these riders have to do is keep working hard, keep believing in themselves just like they are, and they might notch a win here. Right now, Boniface and Tedesco are locked up into a great battle here for fourth place. And Boniface really exceeding everyone's expectations except for maybe his own.
You see Steve have a quick glance over his left shoulder because here comes Mike Alessi. Alessi had just disposed of Andrew Short. Did you like that move on the inside? It was pretty slick, pretty effective. There is the Makita Rockstar Suzuki. Boniface will have company shortly.
Track here at Hangtown, so difficult to second moto. You see this section didn't get a lot of water in between races, and here's that line where Ferry is not quite holding that quite as far to the right, to the inside, as what he did the first moto. Looks like it's a little bit wet on the entry. You can see this sandier lower section here, where back in '91 when it rained cats and dogs, that was actually a river going across there.
Because this is the reverse track, new situation, should we take the liberty at renaming that downhill the Timmy Ferry drop-off?
Well, he's certainly adding his signature to it, but I think you need to win the race or have a big crash to get something named after you. You know?
Nails the move on the 101 of Ben Townley. And another place gain for Timmy Ferry. There's the third of Tedesco. Here comes Alessi on the inside of Boniface for fourth.
And this is a tough double out of the turn here. Alessi nails it.
Big reaction from the crowd. They like the style, they like the pace, the aggressiveness of Mike Alessi.
And watch as Alessi doubles down here. Watch as he comes in, and this is wide open down this hill. Watch the bike dance around, tries to get to the inside, and you have to almost come to a complete stop because you drop off and make that left-hand turn.
The signature sleeves rolled up. He's getting the business done, is Mike Alessi.
Maybe with those sleeves rolled up, you get a bad start like this, you get a lot of roost on your arms there, and I'm telling you, it hurts. It stings like somebody's just shooting a BB gun at you, you know, a rapid-fire BB gun, or maybe even, you know, marbles. And when that type of stuff happens, that it either is going to make you back off, or it's going to make you work that much harder to get past the rider.
Speaking of working hard, Ferry just gets another position done. That was the 29 of Andrew Short. He continues this forward surge. Watch this. Talk us through, Jeff.
He's got 2 or 3 bike links Short does on Ferry. Ferry comes down to the inside. Nice move. Now this is where Ferry has found a line here way to the right. You see not a lot of riders have taken that line. Just carries so much more momentum. That was about a 10 bike link difference between the corner and up over the top of that hill.
Another Honda on his radar is the 141 of Steve Boniface. Keep in mind, Ferry started 14th. Now he gets up the inside and just chops through Boniface.
Ferry absolutely on a mission. Has some just unbelievable lines how easy he's making these passes. Ferry always in great physical condition. One of the veteran riders that takes it very seriously, but really enjoys what he's doing. Is making short work of the competition today here in Hangtown.
And when you come back through the field from as far back as 14th, that is impressive. We're back at Hangtown for round 2 of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship in 2008. We're celebrating the 40th anniversary here at Hangtown, the Honda Hangtown Classic. And speaking of the red machine, the Red Bull Hondas are doing very well. 2nd and 3rd, Millsaps and Tedesco.
Well, the Red Riders were all grouped together. All 4 of their factory stars were grouped together off the start. At the end of the second moto, it seems to be the fitness of Millsaps and Ivan Tedesco that's going the distance, but they have Mike Alessi closing in, Tim Ferry just behind them. This is a heated battle for these final podium positions.
Tedesco around the outside of Davi Millsaps and nails 2nd. We mentioned earlier, it seems like a reinvigorated Ivan Tedesco. Would you agree?
Definitely. At times, it looks like he's being very cautious, but here in the second moto, he's really letting it hang out, and I'm liking his technique. Let's watch what he does here. He comes up on the outside of Millsaps. Millsaps just kind of tiptoes around the inside. That's just pure aggression and desire to take that position.
Speaking of aggression, here he is. Mike Alessi continues this move, making up for lost ground in Moto 1. Went 2-2 at Glen Helen, was pleased with that, a little frustrated that he rode as well as he did and was as far back on James Stewart as he was, but it was valuable championship points.
Millsap seems to be falling off the pace a little bit. You see his shoulders start to sag, his arms are starting to sag. At the top of that last downhill, he was really off the gas. He's trying to find some smooth lines right now. He just really seems like this moto has taken its toll on him, whereas the 800 of Mike Alessi on the Makita Rockstar Suzuki putting on a very hard charge, trying to make up some points because he lost a bunch in the first moto.
Seems the task is getting increasingly difficult for Davi Millsaps. Has finished with 3 consecutive 3rd places this year. Can he maintain that? He's got a fight on his hands with Alessi, and Ferry in the background is not too far away, and we know that Ferry gets better the longer the moto goes on.
Millsaps is going to need to take this. It looks like he's really resting in the turns, like he's not charging very hard. We just seen Tedesco go by. Seems like he needs to, when he hits these jumps like this downhill double, take the opportunity to let loose of your grip on the handlebars, to really take a deep breath and fill your lungs with air. Try to get your heart rate down, and mentally that will do so much to get oxygen to the brain, help you focus.
As an inside move, what a move from Mike Alessi. As quick as that. And says thanks while he's in the air.
Alessi throwing a little one-hander to the fans, or maybe a little one-hander to Millsaps, saying thanks for making that so easy, because Millsaps didn't put up much of a fight there at all.
Alessi is always animated. He now moves into a top 3 spot. This helps his objective of making up for lost ground in Moto 1.
Yeah, and this is a pretty good ride. When you have a bad moto like that, you go down in the first moto, you get out of your rhythm, it's tough to rebound, but Alessi definitely has, and he's going to have to keep on the gas because number 15, Tim Ferry, as always, is working his way through the pack, very strong.
And does not seem to have an ounce of hesitation, Jeff.
Not one bit. He's just so strong on the bike. Tim Ferry has had perfect riding style here today. His line choice has been great. He's not followed.
On Millsaps, getting close to Millsaps, thought about it, then pulled in.
He has not followed any riders out there. You see him to the left, Millsaps to the inside. Millsaps goes to the outside. Well, now Ferry ends up getting stuck in the same line, but you can see now he moves to the right. Millsaps on the inside, Ferry's gonna go wide. That's what it takes to make these passes. He just keeps carrying more momentum in different lines, and really some creative lines.
Creative, a great word, and nails it. Gets that 4th position. Alessi is the next on his list. Always looking for the alternative line is Timmy Ferry. Stages of round 2 of the AMA Motocross Championship, closing stages of Moto 2. It is Kawasaki, Honda, Suzuki. Top 3 positions. What can Timmy Ferry do about that?
Tim Ferry and Mike Alessi have both put on very strong rides here in the second moto, moved their way past all of the riders that had good starts. It's going to come down to this desire factor right now. Both of these riders very determined, ride with a lot of intensity.
Inside, this is what Ferry tried to put on Millsaps several laps ago, and it didn't quite work, but it did then on the 800 of Alessi.
And how impressive has Ferry been today in his line choice and his decision-making of the veteran? He just works his way to the outside. We've seen him make so many passes on that downhill on the inside. Riders figured that out, so he went to another line. Now he works on Ivan Tedesco.
The Red Bull Honda rider will see that Monster Energy Kawasaki shortly. Has Ferry got the momentum? It's been a fantastic ride by Timmy here. Look at how rutted it up is there. He's got the inside run. This is for second, and Ferry sticks it. It is again Kawasaki 1-2. Stewart's leading, Ferry now second.
Ferry on the gas here in the second moto. Just perfect passes, just such intelligent riding by Timmy Ferry to just pick his way through some of the best riders in the world. Stewart, though, didn't have to work his way past anyone, just up front around the start.
And he is on his way home. Final lap for James Stewart. And he says yes, #1 again. A 1-1 at Glen Helen, and victory here at Hangtown, the 40th anniversary of the Honda Hangtown Classic. But it's a green day here in Sacramento. We'll be back. Of course, June 15th, and there's no better gift than Speed Swag. Hurry to speedtv.com for all new styles of high-quality Speed tees, hats, jackets, and more. Snag some swag for Dad this year. Log on to speedtv.com, and the keyword is swag. And we hope that you do. We go to the Toyota Trucks results board. Stewart, Ferry, Tedesco. A Kawasaki 1-2 again, but I am sure Ivan Tedesco will be thrilled with that third place, and let's hear what he has to say.
Ivan, it's been a long time coming. What does it feel like to be back up at the box after such a long hiatus from your injury?
Yeah, it has been a long time. I can't even remember last time I got up on the podium. And the Supercross season, I was expected to be up here a lot, but I got injured at the 4th round and had to take the rest of the season off. And, I just stayed back and started working on outdoors. And last weekend I knew I had more in the tank, but I just didn't work out. But this weekend I felt good. Finally, that second moto, I showed what I can do, so I'm happy.
Super performance as we go to the overalls, and Kawasaki's there, Honda is there, Suzuki's there. Where is Yamaha? Josh Hill back in 9th.
Well, you would think that with all the years that Tim Ferry's been racing professionally, he'd figure out by now, Tim, if you start up front, you're going to make it a lot easier. But if anybody deserves the Hard Charge Award this time around, it's definitely you.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know what happened today with the starts. I've been nailing them here lately ever since last couple of Supercrosses, and last week was good, and the first moto wasn't so bad. 14th is not too bad. I just had all the fast guys in front of me, so I had my work cut out for me.
Great ride, though, wasn't it? To the points after 2 rounds, and maximum 100 for James Stewart, and a 20 further back, his Kawasaki teammate. Here's James, though.
Another dominating performance by James Stewart means that he is more than ready. But James, the big question, are you giving it 100% out there, or is there even more of James Stewart to come?
I'm just having fun, and I feel good. I felt better at second moto, and so Glen Helen was a little smooth. This track was definitely a little bit more tough, and I felt good. I got to give it up to the team and everybody. They really been sticking behind me and been busting my butt.
Having fun. Certainly looks that way.
Oh yeah, James Stewart really is on the gas. Alessi looks very strong. Great to see Tedesco up front. Going to be a good rest of the series.
It looks like it's the race for second, but there's a long way to go in this championship. On behalf of Aaron Bates and Jeff Emming, I'm Lee Diffie. Next stop is Texas.